What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining us here at TGeekdom. This is our Season 2, Episode 9 recap of Krypton. We start out this week with our happy little band of Kryptonians having a chat. Mostly Lyta telling everyone everything General Zod did to her and what he plans to do, and it ain't good. General Zod's going to use Doomsday to destroy any dissenting alien worlds, after which the worlds will be colonized. Reminds us of the Borg from Star Trek. You will be assimilated, resistance is futile. Next, Seg and Nyssa volunteer to go to Wegthor and warn everyone that winter is Doomsday is coming. On the way, Nyssa has an awkward conversation with Seg professing her love for him, and the whole Lyta thing is okay. Time to grab a ride to Wegthor in an invisible skimmer. Moving along, what has Zod been up to? Well, he's still on his power trip. Despite warnings from his tech, he's released Doomsday from his confinement, Black Mercy toxin flooding his body. Better than Dany from Game of Thrones demanding Jon Snow bend the knee, Zod commands Doomsday to kneel before Zod. And he does. Zod's very pleased with this. Meanwhile, Jaina is nursing Lyta back to health. They take some time to repair those emotional wounds too. Kryptonians have feelings after all. Seg and Nyssa make it to Wegthor and reunite with Val. After telling him what is coming, they decide they need to evacuate, but how? With the elevator destroyed, there's nowhere to run. Then we cut to a single ship landing. The doorway opens and it's not a flood of soldiers, it's just Doomsday. Of course it's just Doomsday. The rebels train all their weapons on Doomsday and fire, so much so that we can't even see. But it's no use, of course. Doomsday dusts himself off and begins a charge towards the rebels. He's not gentle and literally rips the rebels to pieces. It's a complete bloodfest. Kick back to Jaina and Lyta. Well, two Sagittari came hunting for them. Lyta steps out literally in their eyes back from the dead, and she tells them about Zod and what he's been doing. They then swear their loyalty to her. All hail Lyta. General Lyta? Lyta? Just Lyta. We're gonna go with just Lyta. After Doomsday enters the tunnels, the rebels lose power. This is a problem as they were planning on blowing up the tunnels and trapping Doomsday. Of course, Kryptonians and their plans. Guess we have to do it remotely, but that means a sacrifice. Doomsday continues tearing through rebels. No one's safe from his destruction. When Doomsday bursts through one tunnel, Seg and Kem are knocked unconscious and left under a large amount of rubble. Is this the end of House L? Well, there's still one episode to go, so probably not. On the surface, Nyssa leads the rebels to assault the ship. This is their way off Wegthor and away from Doomsday. Seems there actually aren't that many Sagittari on board. I mean, who would want to be on a confined spaceship with Doomsday? So yeah, that makes sense. Cut back, Seg and Kem weren't the only ones injured by Doomsday. Adam and Val were trapped under some rubble as well. Val gets free and helps Adam, but our favorite Earthling has no feeling in his legs. On the bright side, maybe they'll give him some Winter Soldier legs or something. Seg and Kem free themselves, but they realize that the detonator's missing. So Kem forces Seg to let him go, sacrificing himself to find it and detonate the tunnels. Seg reluctantly heads towards the surface. Okay, so we have one more Game of Thrones reference in this episode. Remember when we loved Leona Mormont and we wanted her to survive, but we knew she wasn't? Then we were like, well, I hope she gets a hero's death. Well, in this case, Kem is Miss Mormont in this episode. After saving Seg and the others, he finds the detonator and Doomsday at the same time. As he grabs the detonator, Doomsday literally impales him on his fist and ends by ripping Kem's head off as Kem detonates the bomb, destroying the tunnels and burying Doomsday. With the rebels now on the Sagittari ship, Seg also makes it to the skimmer and takes off. Kem saved the day with the detonator, but it had an unintended consequence. It ignited all the minerals and the moon is exploding from within. As we see our heroes leave the atmosphere, we also see Wegthor completely destroyed. This week's episode was probably one of the bloodiest and goriest yet. Next week, we'll see our heroes take on Zod head on. But will they kneel before him? I guess it's not really next week, it's actually tonight, because again, I'm sorry we got this episode out a little late. But please hit that like button, leave your comments down below. What do you think's gonna happen in the season finale? Don't forget to subscribe to TGeekdom, and we'll see you next time.